All right, folks, gather round because we're diving into the one of the worst or best, depending on the person, episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. You know, that podcast where Joe Rogan sits down with people from all walks of life and just lets the conversation flow. Now, we all know that Joe isn't exactly the poster child for political correctness, and he likes to tread that fine line between viewpoints. But hey, that's part of what makes his show so darn interesting. So he had on Adam Conover, the guy known for bursting everyone's bubble with his Adam Ruins Everything series. Right from the get-go, you could practically sense the tension in the air. Joe and Adam, like oil and water, just not mixing well at all. I mean, come on, folks. Adam's got this vibe like he's trying to be the quirky, unconventional thinker who's just too unique to toe the line. And guess what? He's not afraid to go against qualified scientists. Hold on a second, pal. You're telling me you know better than the experts who've spent years researching this stuff? Oh, but it doesn't stop there. It's downright infuriating when you hear Adam spouting these strong opinions that are backed by, let's be honest, thinner than a wafer-thin mint. He's quick to throw in the "I'm not an expert, but" disclaimer, and then he goes on to deliver these fully formed, rock-solid opinions. Seriously? Screw this guy, man. It's like he's got this special power to make us all collectively facepalm. He goes on about things like, "I wish I knew all the research, but..." and then proceeds to drop his well-packaged ideas without batting an eye. It's like he's channeling his inner BuzzFeed headline, 10 things I know nothing about, but here's why I'm right anyway. Give me a break. Look, I'm all for open discourse and discussing different perspectives, but Adam's approach just rubs me the wrong way. You can't just waltz into a conversation armed with half-baked ideas and expect everyone to nod their heads in agreement. Joe's face throughout that interview was practically a reflection of all of us watching, equal parts amusement and disbelief. In a world where we're striving for more nuanced discussions and informed opinions, Adam Conover's shtick just doesn't cut it. I'll take Joe Rogan's willingness to explore differing viewpoints any day over Adam's walking contradiction of strong, unsupported stances.
If you're choosing to add hormones to a child's body, that's a choice.
It's a choice blockers. It's a choice on the part of the parent. It's not a choice on the part of the child to like in the same way that being gay isn't a choice. Yeah.
Okay, but if that's who they are, if they think that they're a girl, why do you have to give them hormones to make them more of a girl?
Because I'm sorry. Can you expand on the question?
Almost every single opinion he expressed felt like a virtue signal on steroids. It was painfully obvious from his complete inability to provide any solid arguments for his claims. He doesn't actually know why he believes the things he does. He just says them because it's what's trending, what's cool, what fits in. Now, credit where credit's due, Joe Rogan did his best to keep the episode rolling in a somewhat civil manner. But some of the words coming out of Adam's mouth just didn't sit right with me. But you know what really grinds my gears the most? It's that segment where he's talking about children getting hormones from their parents as if it's all sunshine and rainbows with no consequences. Adam's over here protecting the parent's side just because the child identifies as trans. Cute, right? But seriously? Most kids change their minds about what cereal they want for breakfast, let alone making life-altering decisions about their gender identity.
You're choosing to chemically change this child's body. You're choosing to inject things into this child's body on a regular basis that are going to radically affect the physical development of their body.
Yeah.
And you're saying that this isn't a choice. Well, it's definitely a choice to do that.
So what trans people express, and again, I'm not an expert. This is from me talking to my trans friends and seeing what other trans folks say.
Nice source of data, bro. Is this how Adam gets his data? And to justify doing this invasive procedure to a child? Let's be real, folks. Kids don't know if they want to go through such a complicated and permanent procedure at such a young age. Anyone who denies this is, frankly, well, let's not mince words here. They're being downright stupid, and it's bordering on child abuse. And here's what really baffles me. How does someone like Adam, who can't even back up his statements with a shred of empirical evidence, manage to get to a point where people respect his opinion? All Adam seems to do is pander to whatever leftist trend is hot right now. It's like he's taking cues from a Twitter feed rather than consulting experts. Half the time, not even that. Now, let's dive deeper into the ethical age of consent dilemma he touched upon. If we start letting kids sign up for life-changing decisions just because they believe they identify as something, where does it end? Can children start marrying anyone they want? Can they buy alcohol or even vote before they hit puberty? It's a whole bag of worms, people. I get it. Some might not see what's so disturbing about this story, but once you change the context, you can see how it really is. We're talking about letting kids make decisions that could impact the rest of their lives without fully understanding the implications. It's like opening Pandora's box without thinking about the consequences, and that, my friends, is a recipe for chaos. So, while Adam Conover may have his fans and followers, I just can't wrap my head around how someone with such flimsy arguments and a penchant for virtue signaling can be taken seriously in these important conversations.
My concern is not with young adults deciding to take steps to confirm their gender identity, who they feel they really are. I'm all for you doing whatever you want to do when you're an adult, when your mind is formed. But people change their mind. They change their opinion. They change their thoughts. There's nothing wrong with just deciding to be a gay man. There's nothing wrong with your body, as you grow and mature and develop, you growing out of these ideas. Some will and some won't. And the ones who won't, they always have the option to do something later on in life. But if you do something to hormonally block a child very, very early on, there's no turning back from that.
We can't afford to let people like Adam Conover steer the conversation with their hollow arguments and virtue signaling. We need to uphold the standards of informed, evidence-based discussions. My call to action for you all is simple. Let's strive for a higher level of discourse. Let's demand that those who speak on important issues bring more than just emotional appeals to the table. It's time to prioritize substance over style, facts over feelings, and expertise over empty opinions. Remember, it's not about stifling diverse viewpoints. It's about ensuring that those viewpoints are grounded in reality. We can disagree and debate respectfully, but we should never tolerate the spreading of misinformation or the manipulation of emotions to push an agenda. In conclusion, the Adam Conover interview on the Joe Rogan Experience left me frustrated and bewildered. It's a stark reminder of the need for critical thinking, evidence-based arguments, and a commitment to intellectual honesty in our conversations. So let's not settle for shallow discourse. Let's demand better. Thanks for joining me on this rant, folks. If you've got thoughts on this or any other topic, let's keep the discussion going. Remember, it's up to us to shape the conversations of the future. Until next time, keep those headphones on and those minds engaged. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Red Alert, signing off.